Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas's daily free winner show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, SportsMemo. We have a great show for you today with very special guests joining us. Oh, my God, what a panel. We've got Dan Kaiser, Dr. Chuck, and Pavlos Lagonatos. Good morning, everyone.
Guys.
Happy Thursday. Dan, how are you today?
Doing good. Glad
to have you back on the show. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Dan Kaiser, he's been around a while. He started with SportsMemo about a month or so ago, and guys, he hit the ground running. He's doing some great work at SportsMemo. He started with the First Family a week ago. We're honored to have him back. Everybody knows there's only one doctor of sports betting. That's Dr. Chuck. Doc, how are you today?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's Field of Dreams Day, so we're celebrating the Reds over here because what better game to put in the showcase game of the year than the Cubs and Reds?
There you go. Dr. Chuck, guys. I'm sorry, the screen froze. Go on, Doc. I apologize.
No, I said doing great. Excited about the weekend, tennis, golf, and baseball continuing on. So, and I'm glad Pavlos is here because my tennis play isn't going to be the most obscure thing put out there.
I love that. Guys, you know, Dr. Chuck's doing some great work over at SportsMemo. He's all over the profits, the 3-7-30. He's killing it. And then we've got the Greek god of soccer. I love him. You love him. Pavlos Lagonatos. Pavlos, how are you today?
Doing great. Trying to focus really hard on this new soccer season. For those of you that don't know this, the soccer season, the big 5 leagues, 3 of them started last week and 2 of them are starting tomorrow. So this is a full action of soccer around the world with the MLS as well, Champions League qualifiers, and it's just the most exciting part of the year for me personally.
Now, Pavlos does not know this, Dr. Chuck, but I'm sure you do. Guys, Dr. Chuck is really one of the most well-read guys I've ever met in this business. You know, you could bring up any sport, any player. You could bring up obscure things. You know, he probably reads Obscure Sports Daily, that magazine from the movie Dodgeball. But
there's an Ocho magazine. I've got it. Right?
You may be aware of this. You may not. But Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson broke up the other day, and odds are that her next boyfriend, 5-1, is Pavlos Lagonatos. He's on the list. He's up there with like Usher, Ray J, a couple of other guys. Pavlos is 5-1 to be her next boyfriend. Pavlos, I got my money on you, baby. I want you to get that big butt. I really do.
You know what happens.
I can't wait to see Pavlos and Kanye in the UFC match. That's what I want to see.
Oh, my bet is on Pavlos. Kanye.
I'm gonna beat that guy. But you know what happens to any male that goes around the Kardashian family? Everyone gets their careers destroyed. So I don't know. But they get money. They get money.
So we say Pete Davidson's in trouble. His career's going to plummet.
Well, he did quit SNL.
He did quit SNL. Gave up $400,000 a week.
Mistake right
That's
there,
a big payday. And let's face it, he's not the best-looking guy in the world. He ain't going to be. He ain't going to be the best-looking guy of 2023.
Don't tell every celebrity female that.
There you go.
Well, I don't know. If you think about it, look at all the other people that are
Paul Rudd and
on
that
the top.
Michael B. Jordan, that was Paul Rudd. Come on,
So I mean, with the people that are up on there right now, you never know. He could be right up there with them because you know.
I think we got a couple of free plays to give out today. We got a couple of quick announcements, guys. Real quick. Guys, the Wager Talk and SportsMemo meet and greet is happening in just a week and a half. The 19th and 20th at the Westgate Superbook. We're going to be in the clubhouse there here in Las Vegas. We'd love to meet you. Come meet us. All your favorite Wager Talk and SportsMemo personalities will be there. And, guys, we're very excited. We got some swag bags. My good friend Ralph Michaels. We're going to be doing a weekly show in football with Ralph and his son, Jeff Michaels. Dionne and I will be. And Sports Fans, he's got some great swag. We're going to be giving out a lot of great swag bags. Dionne and I, you know that we can't be undone. So we went out. We got some swag. We have a limited amount of these. We're going to be giving that out to the first bunch that shows up. Check this out, Doc. We've got poker chips, casino chips, Dionne and I on it. All right. And on the back, guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, SportsMemo logos, guys. So anybody that shows up, we got a limited amount of these. We're going to be giving these out. That's what you've been hearing me doing, playing with the last 2 days.
I still get them too, right?
Absolutely. You get everything. We love you, Doc. We can't wait to see you. And by the way, I've got extra bail money just for me and you, buddy. We're going to have a lot of fun. Pavlos laughed at that. My friends, so please join us on the 19th and 20th at the Westgate. We'd love to see you, show you why we love you so much. Now, because of you, we hit our 5,000 subscriber mark over on YouTube, but we have a new goal.
We have a biggie.
10,000 subscribers. We can't reach that goal without you. I want to tell you, by next week, we're going to be releasing. We're going to tell everybody about our fall schedule with our football content. We've got some new people here that are going to be taking part in a lot of shows. I just found out last night we have a new guy, Moneyline Matt. Yes. What a nice guy he is. We're looking forward to working with him. I
believe he's big with
football, NFL, and UFC. I believe so. We're looking forward to working with him. By the way, welcome, Matt. We look forward to working with you. So, guys, you don't want to miss any of this great action. We're going to revolutionize the sports betting industry video-wise this fall season. You hit that subscribe button, and you will get a nice big ding and alert every time. So do that. We want to hit that goal. Dionne, what else do we have for everybody today?
We have a couple of amazing discounts going on right now. For myself or Joey, NFL or NCAA football season, just $3.99. All you have to do is use the code PUNT100 upon checkout. Right now, it is already discounted $100. Using this code, it'll bring it down $200. Like I said, just $3.99. It is an amazing deal right now. And for anybody that's on the First Family Show, the rest of this week, you can get the rest of MLB for just $279. All you have to do is use code BBALL279 upon checkout. And with a nice discount for NFL preseason, just $99. And those discounts are not going to last for too much longer, so make sure you get on those before they disappear.
Now, guys, we've got a great panel of cappers, documented winning cappers that are ready to give you free winners for today's card. I believe somebody's going to be giving a game out for something out for, I believe, Saturday. But you know what, man? I got to tell you, we've got a great card of great panelists today, and let's go right into giving out some free winners. Playing Ricky Henderson today and batting leadoff is the First Lady of Las Vegas, who is all over both the MLB and the WNBA leaderboards. And once again, because I am shocked at this, I only found this out over the last weekend, is that Dionne D'Amico finished number 2 on SportsMemo in college football last season. Now, I want you to know I'm glad that D'Amico was on number 1, number 2, number 3, but I'm gunning for you this year.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gunning for you. I want to see.
You know what? I got to compete with Dr. Chuck, man. I'm going to take that number 1 spot away from you, buddy.
We're very excited about this. It's going to be like, guys, I want you to know, real quick, viewers, I want you to know that there is competition in this business. While I did work in sales rooms back in the day. Wow, it was one big pitching contest. It didn't matter whatever you did, as long as you had $1 more than anybody else in the room for that weekend, guys. Guess who was always the leader? For like 79 straight weeks, I was the leader. I lost 1 week, then I had it for like another 70-something straight weeks. Nobody beat Joey D. But here on SportsMemo, while there is some fun competition, we actually root for one another because this is the best collection of cappers on the planet. This is like playing on an all-star team, MLB all-star team, where you're just happy to be with some of these other great cappers. So I'm going to tell you now, Dionne, Chuck, I'm coming for both of you this year. I want that spot. And I know that Dan Kaiser's got something to say about that because he is a monster in college football. Yep. And I know Pavlos, who's always on the soccer leaderboards. We're looking forward to seeing Pavlos maybe spread his wings a little bit and start putting out other sports. And I think that, Pavlos and I have talked about this. He may be dipping his toe in some other waters. We're excited about that. But, Dionne, you are everywhere right now, and you did finish number 2 last year in college football, and you're doing some great work over at SportsMemo. You have some exciting things on the premium side. You have a free play for everybody. Dionne, the floor is yours, darling.
All right, thank you. I am very selective with my preseason releases. Last season, I put out just 2 games and was 100% at 2-0. Today, I have my NFLX touchdown play posted right now over at SportsMemo for just $12. And for today's free play, takes place on the Diamond, where the Arizona Diamondbacks host the Pittsburgh Pirates for the final game of this series. Both teams split out their last 10 games and are both below the 500 mark. But Arizona took the first 2 games of this series. And going back further, 21 of the last 28 meetings against Pittsburgh. And when playing at Chase Field, the Diamondbacks have taken 6 of the last 7 matchups. Today, JT Brubaker and Merrill Kelly are scheduled to start. Brubaker is just 2-10 with a 4.49 ERA. Over his last 5 starts, the right-hander is 0-3 with a 5.13 ERA. Kelly, on the other hand, is 10-5 with a 2.86 ERA. In his last 7 starts, The right-hander has allowed 2 or less runs in each of those outings, going 4-0 with a very respectable 1.49 ERA. In early June, Brubaker lost to Kelly when he gave up 6 runs, including 5 earned, on 8 hits over 4+ innings in his first career versus Arizona. The Pirates are also just 1-4 their last 5 versus the NL West, 1-5 their last 6 versus a team with a losing record, 5-11 their last 16 versus right-handed starters, and 7-16 their last 23 overall. So I am going to go ahead and take the Diamondbacks on the run line today.
The First Lady of Vegas says take the Diamondbacks on the run line. She's doing great work. Great work. I know that we have a couple of great people. And guys, real quick, we're thinking about doing this show live starting in a few weeks. Mm-hmm. Our comments have been great, and keep putting those comments up. But you have a couple of really big fans on YouTube.
I do.
That keep saying they're keeping track. That you won 4 in a row. How'd you do yesterday in your free play?
Unfortunately, my game yesterday.
So 4-1 the last 5.
I didn't lose my game yesterday. My game yesterday actually got canceled yesterday because of weather.
She's still a 4-game free play.
So I am still 4-0.
And by the way, you said 1-5 the last 6.
I know.
Now you're sitting next to me, so I get it. I bring that out in a lot of people.
Well, you are
Dr. Check talks about sex all the time.
You are looking very quite, handsome today. Okay. So, you kind of like threw me off there a minute.
Guys, the First Lady of Vegas is doing great work over at SportsMemo. Go follow her. We've got these great discounts. We've got the football discount. We've got the baseball discount. Take advantage of them. Plus, she has a good college football discount up. I'm telling you right now, you follow her, you're going to follow her to the bank. Let's bring on our all-star panel. We're going to go to the newest kid on the block, and he is a kid on this show, but he is no stranger to picking winners, and he's got one of the best reputations in sports betting. Mr. Dan Kaiser, we learned last week that Dan is a product. He's an alumnus of Michigan University, correct? Michigan State. Michigan State.
Be careful.
Be careful. There you go. Iowa, Michigan State. My apologies. That wasn't even a dig. Michigan State. And he knows a lot about this conference. And after last week's show, I looked back. Dan does very, very well in college football. Guys, you would be remiss if you did not take advantage of some of Dan Kaiser. All of Dan Kaiser's
he's a
college
great
football.
addition to the SportsMemo site. Man.
We really appreciate having Dan here. That's really bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. That was Michigan State. I would never do that intentionally. But Dan, you do some great work, and we're proud to have you here. I know you hit the ground running. You're all over leaderboards at SportsMemo and multiple sports. If you tell everybody what you're excited about on the premium side, and then give out a free play, go right into your free play today, Dan. The floor is yours.
All right, sure. Yeah, and I'll just what you said before. You 3 will be battling out for second place. So just let you know that.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, but on the premium side right now, it's just baseball season for me. There's 2 or 3 plays I do like today that will be up shortly after the show. I don't do much NFL preseason, but the things I do like, I usually put up in the free pick section. So. Until regular season and college football starts, it's just baseball for me on that side. My free play today, this is one for Dr. Chuck here. I'm looking at the Cubs and the Reds. They'll be playing the second annual Field of Dreams game. It's going to be hard to top last year's game between the White Sox and Yankees, especially when you have like 2 bad teams facing each other in this one. The Cubs will be sending out Drew Smiley, who's 4-6 with a 3.97 ERA. And the Reds will be sending out Nick Lodolo, who's 3-3 with a 4.4 ERA. The Cubs have won 4 of the 7 games they've played this season, and it's been basically a tale of two different types of games. The Cubs have averaged 10 runs a game in their wins and have allowed just 4 runs a game. But in their 3 losses, they've averaged less than 4 runs a game while giving up almost 10 runs a game. I'm looking at a recent stretch of run for both teams. The Reds are 18-12 in the last 30, while the Cubs are just the opposite at 12-18. The Reds have won 3 of the last 5 games in this series. And the Cubs have lost 4 of the last 6 games started by Smiley, and the Reds have won 6 of the last 7 started by Lodolo. Both teams are just kind of playing out the season. The Reds made some trades at the deadline. They're going to be going with a lot of their young talent. And so I'm going to take the Reds in this one at -115 to pull out the win over the Cubs.
Sports fans, Dan Kaiser, who's doing some great work in baseball over at SportsMemo, says take the Reds over the Cubs. Guys, we have some great second half baseball discounts going on. We have that other We have the other discounts for
$279 right now for the rest of baseball.
for $279 for the rest of baseball for anybody on the show.
And that's only good for, I believe, the rest of this week.
The rest of this week, so we got a few more days to take advantage of that. And guys, we at Sports Memo know that saving your money is just as good as making your money. So we put up these customer appreciation discounts to show you how much we appreciate you. But go follow Daniel, follow him to the bank. And I got to tell you, man, I looked over some of his college football records.
Mm-hmm.
He kicks butt in college football. So he says he's going to take them on. We got a couple of guys on the show that be fighting it out, duking it out. It's going to be a lot of fun this season. But I will tell you this, friends. If you follow Chuck, Dan, Dionne, myself, or any of the great cappers on college football, you'll have a good college football campaign. Having said that, guys, let's go to the Greek god of soccer. You know, we love having him. You know, Pavlos was on the show as many as 3, 4, 5 times a week a little while back.
Yeah.
Took a little break because, let's face it, he lives like Axl Rose. He's got models coming and going every day. He's on leader jets. He's on private jets, flying to model shoots. I love Pavlos. We appreciate him here. But, guys, I got to tell you, I learn more and more about soccer, and I know nothing about soccer. I'm going to tell you. We joke about it. I know I'm a little comical. My entire soccer intelligence comes from watching Ted Lasso on Netflix. So every time I listen to Pavlos, he is so intuitive, and he's so in the know, and I pick up more intelligence on soccer each time he's on the show, and I know you do too. And he puts out so many free winners that you must go follow him at Sports Memo. So having said that, Pavlos, tell everybody what you got going on the premium side. Give him a nice free winner today. The floor is yours, you handsome son of a gun.
Okay, I have my first 10% max bet of the season. It's an MLS play on the sides. I'm on a 5-1 run with this 10% max bets. Last season I went 14-6, plus 67.6%, which is really awesome if you ask me. I also have a 5% EPL top bet on the sides again for Saturday. I'm on a 6-1 run with this 5% top bets. I have a 4% Bundesliga play of the week, 4% La Liga parlay at plus 120, 4% La Liga best bet for Saturday, 4% Serie A best bet. I told you guys, soccer season is on, and I have a lot of plays up there. So my free play is going to be from the opener of the Serie A, where we have Salernitana, who are hosting Roma. Now Salernitana, they're promoted to the Serie A last season, and what a season it was for them. The team was owned by the owner of another Italian team, Lazio, and there's a law in Italy that prohibits, in order to have two teams in the same league. So they needed to be sold by the end of December. There was a lot of uncertainty in the season because if they couldn't get sold, they would have to drop back to the 4th division. So they did eventually get they were sold to another owner, but the season kept on being really, really bad. So they were facing relegation. So what did they do? They did a big brain move. They hired coach Davide Nicola. This particular coach is a specialist in taking teams who are at the brink of relegation and then saving them. And he did. He did save them for the 4th season in a row. And now Salernitana are in the same, Serie A season, the Serie A league, and they're trying to stay afloat. So they made a lot of changes in the roster. They sold off a lot of players. They bought new ones. So, chemistry is going to be a huge issue. While Roma, they're coming off an excellent season last year. They won the Europa Conference League, and now their coach is the only coach in the history of soccer to have won the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League. So they already had a really nice side. They made some excellent additions in every line, some good midfielders, some great defenders. So I think they're going to start the season with a win here, and a confident win as well. And keep in mind that last season they blasted Salernitana by 4-0 in this venue. So we're taking Roma -1 at -125 here, and you have to hurry up because the price is dropping.
Sports fans, the Greek god of soccer, Pavlos Lagonato, says Roma. And by the way, Pavlos, everything Italian is great. We know that. He says Roma -1. You've got a lot of games already on the board for the weekend, and this is very exciting for us as well as those of you who are following Pavlos, because I know you're going to follow him all the way to the bank. And you did say this is your first 10% release so far
of the season. Last season I went 14-6, which is awesome.
Wow, 70% is pretty damn good, I'll tell you that. Guys, follow Pavlos, take advantage. He's got a slew of games up. So this would be a good time to get maybe a 3 or 7 day package from him where you don't have to pay. where you don't have to pay for those individual plays. Get them all in one, save some money, and follow Pavlos all the way to the bank. You make enough money to follow him for a month or a year, for that matter. Pavlos, you are great. I know he's going to stick around. We're going to go to one of the most eclectic people in the business, one of the most knowledgeable for sure. Guys, when you're sick, you go to a doctor. You don't take out your own appendix. Well, the same goes for when your sports bets are losing. You need to be prescribed a winner. And there's only one doctor in our business. That's Dr. Chuck. Dr. Chuck is really, I mean, truly over the last month or so, people up $10,000 or $11,000, $100 bettors. He is killing it. I know yesterday early, I saw something he put out on Twitter. And guys, Dr. Chuck is on Twitter a lot. You need to follow him. Dan will go through all those later, but he's on Twitter a lot. He does some great work. And he puts out a lot of free stuff, and he tells you about his games. And what I love about Dr. Chuck is his integrity. Not every one of us wins every single day. Dr. Chuck will tell you, man, he's right there in the trenches. He gets pissed. He'll tell you that he's pissed about something. I love that of him. But we give credit where credit's due, and he is killing it. And I love the doctor. Doc, tell everybody what you got going on the premium side, and I know you got another free winner, an interesting free winner today. The floor is yours, Doc.
Well, yeah, before we get to it, I figured I would stick with what I've been doing on the First Family Show, which is hammering out some eclectic tennis winners. And so we are going to get back to that. There's so much, man. We could probably sit here and just, as Joe says, kibitz. I want to talk to Dan about the small sample size of Field of Dreams. But I think maybe Joe would be able to remember there were about 112 home runs hit in last year's game, I think. So interesting, small sample size on that. Plus, I want to hear from Pavlos about whether the Gunners are finally going to get back into the Champions League. But Pavlos is on the show. I only need one Greek in my life. So what I'm going to do with my free play is I'm fading a countrywoman of his in Maria Sakkari today, who is coming off of a win against Sloane Stephens in Toronto. She got a bye, didn't play Monday, played Sloane Stephens on Tuesday, really didn't look very good. And Sloane Stephens may be a name that you know in tennis, but is not in form. Then had yesterday off again. And now she is forced to face Karolina Pliskova, who I brought up on the last show. Our play on Tuesday for the free play was Diego Schwartzman. And he came through with just a money line win. Didn't look great, but came through with a win. And I mentioned his ranking, and I mentioned the different ways you have to attack tennis. He was ranked 15. I brought that up because the fact that, we were joking about his name and who hasn't heard of him. And like Joe said, his knowledge of soccer is down to a Jason Sudeikis show and things like that. And, it's been a big week in tennis because Serena Williams has taken all the headlines by announcing that she's evolving away and each tournament will be her last one. She did bow out of Toronto last night, and that was the end. But we're looking at Maria Sakkari is the number 4 ranked player in the world for the women. The Greek woman is number 4 in the world. She was in San Jose, was the number 1 seed in San Jose over the weekend, got her butt handed to her by Shelby Rogers, not even a close match. Now has only played once since then. Pliskova is coming off of just hammering Amanda Anisimova yesterday, 6-1, 6-1, is a dog today for some reason, and has the better serve, can attack Sakkari's backhand, who hasn't been looking that great anyway. Pliskova's been playing better, shouldn't be a dog. Multiple different ways to attack it. Bring it back again to Tuesday. I joked. Anisimova on Tuesday was that person I talked about that was a minus 1,700, which, is not a number people understand as much as you bet $170 to win a sawbuck back. And that's what you have to wager on that play. That's who Pliskova beat yesterday. And when we look at these rankings, like Sakkari is probably just you have to delve into why these lines are what these lines are. Sakkari had a bye, had yesterday off as well. Pliskova's had 2 matches in a row, also beat Krejcikova the day before, looked better in both of those matches. And the number 2 in the world ranked player, Paula Badosa, lost yesterday. And the number 3 ranked player in the world, Annette Kontaveit, lost yesterday as well. And so just a lot of ways to attack tennis that are advantageous. Pliskova should be the favorite today. I'm talking over everyone's head, but tennis is a year-round sport, and I don't want that to be the case. I want you guys to money won is equal to money won. And I think this is an outright dog situation where you could maybe even, play her in straight sets and she could upset Sakari in that fashion. Multiple different ways to attack it. If you wanted to be a little safer, you want to tie something together with Pliskova just to take a set. You could put that with something else on today's slate and make it even more lucrative and safer. But I think this is a pretty big mismatch, and the dog should be the favorite.
Sports fans, Dr. Chuck prescribing a dog. Take a bite out of the favorite today with Pliskova. Woof, woof. Guys, go follow Dr. Chuck. Like I said, $100 bettors. Last time I looked up 10 or 11,000 for a month. Guys, I'm going to tell you now, numbers don't lie. Go follow Dr. Chuck. We've got these great discounts. Follow him for one of those. I'm going to tell you, you'll follow him all the way to the bank. Now, our cast and crew is going to be back in just a moment. Time to adjust those headsets. The volume, guys. I'm excited today. Dan, you know why I'm excited?
Because you are kicking big old booty butt all over the leaderboard.
Don't talk about Kim Kardashian. Pavlos gets upset. No, go ahead.
I checked early this morning, and I have some amazing stats that I pulled up from you.
Are they my dimensions?
Yes. You are number 1 the last 30 days MLB profit. Number 2 the last 30 days MLB winning percentage. Number 3 the last 30 days overall profit. And number 1 last 30 days overall winning percentage. Those are some amazing stats right now. Let me tell you. I mean, and to be honest, with this going on right now, with you all over the leaderboard, this is the perfect time for them to take advantage of that rest of MLB for just $279.
Well, they could take advantage of those discounts. You could take advantage of me after the show. Anyway, sports fans, you know how much I love my wife, and we like to joke. Thank you for that. That's nice. I didn't know you were going to do that. Yes, I didn't even plan to say that I was number 1 in this and number 1 in that, number 2 and number 3. But I've been picking out good. But the thing that it is, guys, with me, I don't put out a ton of games. All right, for me, for anybody that does, more power to them. If they're winning for themselves and those people that follow them, I'm a little more. I'm less is more guy. All right. For me,
right.
One wonderful wife rather than a whole harem of mediocre wives. All right. That's me. I'd rather have one beautiful car than 100 crappy ones for me. And for me, as somebody who puts every game I put out, I bet I want you to know that I'm in the trenches with you. And for me also, I'd rather go 1-0 or even 0-1. For me, because I know that I'm 24 hours away from being back in the plus column, have a bad day. Now, I did lose a baseball game yesterday, and you're still yet number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1. And it really does piss me off. So I kind of wish the entire Houston Astros team catches an STD. But that's okay because we made a lot of money with them this year. Let me tell you what I've got going on today, Dan. Over the years, I have quite a few number 1 rankings in preseason football. Quite a few.
Right.
Last season here at SportsMemo, I went 7-3 on premium releases, another 6-0 with free plays. That's documented. This year, I'm already 1-0 in NFL exhibition play. Well, today, get ready to get paid with my NFL X. Thursday night winner a season ago, I was 3-0 in NFL preseason Thursday night games. And every year in regular season, I think last year just in regular season, I was 7-2 or 8-2 on Thursday night games.
Wow,
I make money. For some reason, Thursday, I just really do good. Thursdays in preseason last year was perfect. You can't argue with success, let alone perfection. So follow a proven NFL preseason winner and go into the weekend with a bankroll. I have this football winner available right now at SportsMemo for just $15. Now, my friends, they may be showing a little fatigue. After all, it's a very long season with over 110 games already in the books. Any team will show a little fatigue, especially when you're playing at their level. But make no mistake of it, the 2 best teams in the American League are still the New York Yankees and the Houston Astros. My free play today consists of the latter. Houston has dropped 5 of their last 9, splitting games 1 and 2 of the series with Texas. One thing this team does not like to do is to lose, particularly to a division opponent. They still have a 10.5 game cushion in the division. My friends, they really do need to put their foot on the gas right now to take their play up a notch. They don't want to give the rest of the AL West any confidence, nor do they want to give them momentum. Having said that, I look for them to bounce back strongly here today. Framber Valdez, I love his name. Framber Valdez takes the hill at home, while rookie left-hander Cole Reagans will make his second career start. I made a point of saying Cole Reagans' second career start. I'm going to tell you why. Valdez is 10-4 on the season with a 2.87. And believe it or not, he's riding a streak of 18 quality starts.
Wow.
Guys, in today's baseball game, that is as outstanding of a stat as any. 18 consecutive quality starts is huge. In his career, he owns a 4-2 record with a 2.78 ERA in 10 appearances, which includes 7 starts against the Rangers. This season alone, he's 1-0 with a 0.69 mark and 2 starts against them. I made a point. Cole Reagan's just his second career start. This is huge, playing a team like this with very little experience in the big leagues. You're going to feel the pressure, and trust me, Houston's going to look to come back today strong. The Rangers are a very inconsistent team, going 3-13 the last 16 following a win. They're also just 3-13 the last 16 versus teams with a winning record. I look for the Astros to bounce back strong here. I like them on the run line. Follow me here, and together we will beat the Bucs. I promise you that. Let's bring back our entire cast. This is a good cast. We're having a lot of fun. We're giving out free winners, guys. Dion's got a couple of announcements for discounts. I've got announcements. Then we're going to run down the free plays, and then we're going to get out of here, guys. Dionne, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so don't forget we do have a couple of amazing discounts. We have for myself or Joey, NFL or NCAA football season, just $3.99. All you have to do is use code PUNT100 upon checkout. And for anybody that's on the First Family Show this week, only good for a couple more days. You can get the rest of MLB for just $2.79. All you have to do is use code BBALL279. And we also have an amazing preseason discount for just $99. So make sure you head on over to the website, take advantage of those discounts before they disappear, because they are only for a limited time.
And my friends, later today, full count. That's SportsMemo's MLB betting coverage show. We're going to come to you live at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be hosting. Joining me, the First Lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, and the doctor himself, Dr. Chuck. So tune into that before you pull the trigger on any of your Thursday baseball betting decision. I will tell you, we kind of got hamstrung today. Of the 8 games on the board, 6 go off relatively early. So tune into that show, because we may have some games that we're going to be giving out that are going to start. Maybe one during the show and maybe some right afterwards. So you want to tune into that. Let's run down the free plays, my friends. Let's go to the First Lady of Las Vegas. What'd you have for everybody?
I am going Diamondbacks on the run line today.
Dan Kaiser, what'd you have, buddy?
The Reds on the money line.
The Greek god of soccer, Pavlos Lagoretos. I think you're muted, Pavlos.
Yes, I have Roma -1 at -125.
Beautiful stuff. Dr. Chuck. Dr. Chuck froze, but I'm pretty sure he has Pliskova and tennis plus $1.25. He likes the dog outright. Your sexy and savory host has the Astros -1.5. Now, guys, the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet are at SportsMemo. So go over to the SportsMemo Twitter page and follow it. I'm going to tell you why. Because guys like Dan Kaiser, Dr. Chuck, Dionne, Pavlos, and myself, we put up a lot of free content. You also get futures, you get odds, you get great columns by our good buddy Eric Pauly. I put up a column the other day, reasons to bet preseason football. Go follow SportsMemo's Twitter page. And Dionne, what else do we have to do? We have to follow these great cappers.
We do. We have to follow these amazing cappers on Twitter. You can find Dan over at Dan Kaiser Sports, Dr. Chuck over at Dr. Chuck Sports, Pavlos at Pauly_WT. You can find myself over at the First Lady of Vegas, and Joey over at Joe D'Amico Wins. And it looks like we've got Dr. Chuck back.
Dr. Chuck is back.
And I believe
sorry. Dennis.
It's okay.
And before we head on out, I believe Dan had an interesting story.
Dan has a story
tennis.
for Dr. Chuck about tennis. Dan, if you will, come on, buddy.
Well, that's kind of it was just what we talked about last week. I know Dr.
Try
Chuck.
to keep this one G-rated, though, Dan. Okay?
No, it's big in the tennis. And Nate, you said your neighbor's Andre Agassi. Well, I don't know if Chuck knows this, but Junior Nationals was always held in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So when I was growing up, my best friend in high school was the number 1 or number 2 player in the state of Michigan, depending on whether Aaron Crickstein wanted to play or not that year. So, but I'd always spend my summer at Stowe Stadium in Kalamazoo, and with the likes of Agassi, Sampras, Courier, Chang, Jensen brothers, like the last heyday of men's tennis, that era. So it's just interesting that he follows tennis, and then you were Andre Agassi's neighbor, and then
that does feel like the golden age, doesn't it?
It really does. And, on a funnier note, both Dre and I, Andre Agassi and I, used to share the same hairdresser, and we're both bald now. That is actually absolutely true, Pavlos. We both had this head of hair like Crystal Gale back in the 70s. Oh, my God. And now, wow, I'm lucky I have eyebrows. So that's good stuff, though, Dan. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you. And, guys, Dan is going to be a regular on this show, as well as our NFL shows that we're going to make announcements about next week. So stay tuned for that. Dionne, can you take us out of here, please?
I absolutely can. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for some more special guests and a ton of free winners. On behalf of Sports Memo, Dan, Dr. Chuck, Pavlos, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.